Welcome, everyone, back to Nerdrotic. Hope you're all having a great day, and we are going to get right into the Doctor Who discussion because what should have been the most exciting episode of Flux was just boring, and what I was concerned about the most, not that I'm concerned about much with this show. I mean, we're just riding it out until the end at this point. Like I said, it's and somebody else brought this up in the chat, by the way. This is the autopsy of Doctor Who. And certainly I hope, I probably should have checked this before, but let's make sure. Yes, I'm going through the right mic this time. I was on a live stream last night. Pretty late, had a good time, did a square up. So this is Doctor Who Series 13, Episode 4. Got 2 more to go. Of the Flux, called the Village of the Angels, the triumphant return of the Weeping Angels without Moffat writing them. And it certainly showed. And the Angels, much like River Song, have kind of been turned into the Borg of Doctor Who and just overdone. I mean, I won't blame Chibnall on this one because it was Moffat who turned the Statue of Liberty into an angel. It's just gotten a bit much. There was a couple Doctor Who-ish things in this episode, a couple, but for the most part, it was just burning time. Because once I go through, we're going to break down the episode a little bit, but once I get to the end, we are going to go over what we learned from this episode about the Flux, about the Doctor, about the Weeping Angels, and spoilers, not much. At the end of this episode, we just got left with, wow. So we ran from some angels. We blinked. Apparently, you don't need to look at them all the time. It just got sloppy. It got really sloppy. Not that it was perfect with Moffat, but at least with the original Blink episode and the Time of Angels, it was better. Excuse me. It's still early. I apologize for Dark Side filling you guys there, but welcome everyone. Welcome. It's mystery box storytelling at its worst. It makes you feel like there's something happening. It introduces a bunch of new characters and random elements, and it just fills more time. But if we go from the start, we've met Swarm and Azure, who when they're on screen, they're good. We got Azure, a little bit of Azure. We got some more of Belle, our Mary Sue. We got a little vendor. They're still looking for each other. And we met a toxic old man. And we met a nice professor named Jericho, who was probably the best thing in the show. And that felt like a Doctor Who character, which is, I mean, that's where we're just, we're grasping at things at this point. It's like, oh my God, a character that looks like it probably would have been a good character in Doctor Who in the past, or a better form of Doctor Who. But as I'll say, every review, everything stops when it gets to Jodie. And the end, I was laughing my ass off at the end. I was laughing my ass off at the end. So I still will say that the bulk of the information that we're going to get on what the Flux is, what the division's doing, what Swarm and Azure are up to, we'll probably get a little something in the penultimate episode, and then it'll be just an information exposition dump in the last 6 minutes of the final episode. It'll be interesting to see what the ratings are, but I will say it was a pretty pleasant episode of Country File prior to Doctor Who. Enjoyed watching a little of the little British TV. little quaint. It's nice. It's there's a TV show on a major network that like sells calendars and goes to a village that needed to raise 500 pounds for a school. It's like this stuff would just never play here. It's not enough death and destruction and fear for American television. Country File would get watched by, like 100,000 people here, maybe. It's just, I like it. I like it. Talking to some old guy about, some flowers. Hail Gary Saul, I miss most of this live stream. It's okay. Christy Ann Solis. Apology. There's no need to apologize. It's all right. This one's not going to be super long because the not much happened in the episode, but thank you for the £2 that proper money. And if you want to see the replay, you can watch it over on Nerdrotic Live when it's up there in a couple of hours. So yes, the Return of the Angels. An angel came in. By the way, I'm going to spoil the episode, just so you know. We had, but I'll again. A lot of stuff happened and it felt like it was moving, but nothing really happened. We learned nothing. But we'll get there. So if you remember at the end of the last episode, a weeping angel took over the TARDIS, and brought them to a village, an English village in 1967. Where we meet Claire, who is going through some psychic experiments from Professor Jericho in a home, and she is it looks like a lie detector. So she's lying about like her date of birth and how old she is and what year she was born, and Jericho's trying to suss it out. In the meantime, the doctor is the first female doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen, is able to reverse the polarity. I don't know. She pulls a couple of wires out of the TARDIS and quantum locks or ejects the angel out of the TARDIS, and they land in 67. But the angel took the TARDIS and the fam where they wanted to go. So Yaz and the first female doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, and Dan are on the case. And as soon as they get there, there's a missing girl that a bunch of people are looking for. And they're starting to get plucked up by the angels. We see a priest or a father get plucked by the angels. We meet an old married couple that's like a great uncle of the missing girl. And he's a total dick because he's the white guy. So he's just the dick the whole time. He's looking for the girl. They Yaz and Dan go on the search party. The doctor ends up in the house with Professor Jericho, sees Claire. And, Claire has a sketch of the doctor, not the doctor, of a weeping angel, rips up the sketch of the weeping angel because anything, I guess that's a weeping angel can become a weeping angel, even a drawing. And she puts it in the fire, but later on it reassembles itself. So, and then Dan and Yaz at some point get plucked by the weeping angels and they go back to 1901. We find out that this village had it's closed down by the military because in 1967 everybody disappeared, and everybody disappeared from the village in 1901. So it had two separate instances of being of having everybody disappear. And again, I'm just going to go rush through this because it was just a lot of running around from angels, locking doors, trying to figure out what's going on. So we have Dan and Yaz in 1901, where they find the little girl, and they're the only ones in the village because everybody had already been plucked. You go to the boundary, and the village is basically taken out of time and space. And we find out all of this is quantum extractions. And we'll find out why later. But again, it's just a lot of running from angels and not blinking, but they're like incredibly sloppy with this because they have groups of angels, and you'll have 3, you'll have the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker and Jericho and Claire looking at one angel with all the angels around that could have just moved whenever they want. I'm just like, and they could have made it simple on themselves. They could have just made it one angel or 2 angels. And Moffat's a clever guy, like too clever for his own good sometimes. I think he is really proud of his cleverness, and he sometimes clevers his way out of good storytelling, but he's a clever guy and he comes up with like really ingenious stuff once in a while. You can tell this was basically high schoolers doing Weeping Angel fanfic, just borrowing from stuff that's happened before, including an angel kind of getting caught in somebody's eye, but we find out later. There's a quote unquote exposition dump that tells you next to nothing. It tells you it's fucking frustrating at this point. And it must be really frustrating for somebody who cares, but it's frustrating for me because I just want to get through this because I don't give a fuck. I know it's just going to end badly. Now, before I go further, is there a possibility that they could undo the timeless child? Yes, absolutely. And isn't it going to piss you off? Is it going to say, so what if, for example, they just say the master was lying the whole time? And then they come out and say, well, we planned this from the beginning. I will tell you that is bullshit. That's total bullshit. If they retcon it, sure. I mean, like, that's what I've said from the beginning. That's got to go. It's got to go. It's got to go. It's just got to go. Don't care what happens after that. Got to hold the line. It can't be something we just don't talk about anymore because somebody will bring it up eventually. So the Division. Remember the Division? The Division, last I remember, was what we thought was started by the Time Lords. So we think. So one of the better things about the Weeping Angels, why they used to work so well, is we didn't know anything about them. Kind of like the Doctor. Why the Doctor works so well is we didn't know much about him. So our imaginations can fill in the blanks, and there is no writer on earth that can do a better job than our imaginations collectively. Just can't do it. So what you do is you just bring these. What the Weeping Angels will be good for is once every few seasons in a situation, like never knowing where they come from, never knowing who they are, not knowing if they can really talk to each other. Well, they kind of ruin a little bit of that. And they do. Dan and Yaz are in 1901. The girl shows them the boundary. Then her great uncle and aunt, who got zapped by an angel, come there. And then they get killed by an angel. Jericho is a cool character. He talks, he's not scared. He's more interested in the science of stuff. And plus he was a World War II veteran. And so he was pretty badass. And he's like, hey, these things don't scare me. And I'll do whatever you want, doctor. The doctor is trying to work her way, basically trying to figure out why Claire is there. Well, we find out why Claire is there. Claire is a psychic, and she has an angel trapped in her. So there was a scene where Claire is looking in the mirror, and she's got angel wings, and it looks like she's becoming an angel, which could have been interesting if they didn't just rush past it and then answer what it was, like almost immediately. She's got dust coming out of her eyes, and she's trying to hide it. Like, that's what this whole episode should have been about. But they're throwing so many things in, it just makes it a bunch of gobbledygook. But it doesn't give them time to preach at us or talk about the environment and how it's hopeless and how Earth is doomed. But I'm thinking the whole time, Well, the flux has just ripped through the universe. By the way, it's done. It's done. Earth is still around, but pretty much everything is gone. What's the fucking point of anything? What's the point of the division and swarm and azure if the universe is gone? It's just gone. So we got a little side story where Belle goes back to a planet where she thinks Vinder is. She meets a guy, and he says, "Hey, we've got a savior who's coming and picking us up." You know, it's like an arc situation. Let's go over here. So they all go over there. There's a bunch of people, and it's Azure with a passenger, and she's trapping all the survivors in the passenger vessel, which is basically a big dude. And she's obviously doing that to kill them. I don't know what for, but she comes in, "I am your savior. I'm here to help," you know. And Belle recognizes it, of course, immediately. None of the other people recognize it, but Belle, our Mary Sue, recognizes it, saves the guy, but everybody else gets trapped. And he gets mad and walks away. And by the way, before that, she showed him an image of Vinder saying, "Have you seen this guy?" He said no. So eventually she takes off, leaves that guy there. The doctor gets into Claire's mind. She psychically links with Claire and has a conversation with an angel who has hijacked Claire. And apparently this angel is on the run from other angels because these angels work for the division. And it's supposed to be this like momentous thing. And I'm like guessing lines, and the doctor's asking, "Why are you on the run?" "Well, I got tired of working for them." "Why? Why do they want to get you?" "I have knowledge." That's what we got out of the conversation. So an angel hijacked Claire, who was in the first episode, to run, supposedly, to hide within Claire, to run from the other angels who are working for the division, who are they are basically snatching people, snatch the town for quantum extraction. They leave some survivors because they're cruel and they want people to tell the story. We also find out that if you get nabbed by an angel twice, you die. So the first time you don't die. The second time you do die. I didn't need to know that. So everybody meets up in 1901. The doctor finds an escape. By the way, just typical Chibnall. Things are, there isn't a countdown clock, but there is a situation where the angels are closing in, and then the doctor just happens to look on the wall, and there's plans of the house, and the guy who owned the house before Jericho just happened to have a tunnel that they can all escape through. So the doctor and Jericho escape through the tunnel. Jericho gets nabbed, put to 1901, and he ends up immediately with Dan, Yaz, and the little girl, Peggy, who was disappearing. There's also an older woman who is walking around, and she seems to know what's up. She seems to know that the angels, what they are and everything. In 1967, well, we find out that older woman is Peggy, the girl who was missing, and she meets herself. And there's a big barrier, all right? So there's 1901 is kind of separated off in time and space, the town. It's like a little floating rock in space. And there's a big barrier, and they can see across this barrier, and they can see Claire, the other angels, the doctor. Jericho's now on the other side. And there's a bunch of angels surrounding Claire and her angel. And the doctor says, "Hey, let's negotiate. We'll let you go." And Claire's angel goes, "No, I've made a better deal. I'm going to give them you." And so it turns out all along that they put an angel in a human as bait for the doctor, which conceptually is cool. But okay, well, wait a minute. If there's a flux happening to all time and space, how did they know this? There was no setup for this. It was just like, hey, we just picked this random human as bait who ran up to you. We knew when. I don't know how. and we're going to extract you. Now, maybe it's because the angels work for the division, and we find out that the division hires all species and across the universe, across time. The division controls everything outside of the Time Lords and the Temple of Adipose or whatever the fuck they're called. And so, and remember the old lady with who popped in last episode. Well, she's gone. God dang it. Because I'm tired. I'm blanking on. Now I can look it up. It's from 3. Yes. Okay. So, and we know who this character. See, how did we know that character's name? I don't remember hearing the character's name, but the old lady with the straw hat. Remember, because she had a straw hat, people think it's the White Guardian, and her name was Osok. I'm wondering if it's an anagram for something. And of course, and we didn't mention it on the live stream, but Belle and Vinder are believed to be the Timeless Children's parents. Well, I'm hoping, I mean, did that kid have a regeneration after it was born? Because I mean, I'm just pointing out the differences in look between Vinder and Belle and that kid. Because it's striking. You know, the one who's supposed to be the doctor. All right. So the end, we find out that the angels are working for the division, and they wanted to get the doctor the whole time. So they capture the doctor by turning the doctor into a weeping Karen. Because, dude, they turned her into an angel with her fucking Karen haircut. I just started laughing my ass off. Oh, no. It's a weeping Karen. Don't blink or she'll go to the manager. Oh. And what did we learn? Like, fracking nothing. Belle is still looking for Vinder, the brand new character we met. So we met Professor Jericho, who's with Dan and Yaz, Peggy, and Peggy's older self, who are just left behind in this in the cliffhanger. There's a bunch of weeping angels. We didn't see our 1820 guy from 1820, our historical figure whose name I'm completely forgetting now. We didn't see Dog Man. We didn't see Aswak or whatever her name is. We didn't see Swarm. No, they spent the whole episode, running from Weeping Angels, and it wasn't cut cleverly like it was in the past. There wasn't a lot of tension. And it was just inexperience. Like the Weeping Angels can write themselves, and you can actually do this pretty simply at a pretty low budget. I mean, you've got a statue basically, and then a person in makeup. Oh, and the Weeping Angels are inclusive. I just wanted to point out that the Weeping Angels are inclusive. You just got to laugh at this point, folks. But I mean, this season is less terrible than anything else that Chibnall has done, but it's just a waste of time. And we have to wait for RTD 2 years from now. I mean, I'm not, I've got much better things to do with my life, and I'm sure you guys do too. I'm curious to see like the next special. We've only got 2 more specials, and I'm sure people are going to tune into Jodie's regeneration because people just want to be rid of her. All right. People just want to be rid of her. But it's too late. It's too late. Like, look at the Ghostbusters. A good movie, by the way. Solid movie. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. I don't think you guys have it in the UK just yet, but when you get it, go watch it. You'll have a good time. It's not the greatest film ever made, but you will enjoy it. It's doing pretty well here in the States, but not as well as it should have done, and that has everything to do with Ghostbusters 2016. That left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, and sometimes you only get one shot at things, and if you don't stick the landing, people just don't care, because this isn't about sure, you want to attract your hardcore fan base and you want to keep it around, you want to keep it intact, because the hardcore fan bases are the ones who shepherd new fans in the quiet and dark eras. That's why people pay so much money for franchises that are established, because they have that built-in audience. And then, yes, it is a bit of a conundrum when these companies who pay so much money for these franchises, or are the custodian or owners of these franchises, then they spend so much time alienating parts of their fan base for, well, ideological reasons. So yeah, not much happened. We didn't learn jack squat other than the division likes to employ other species, including the weeping angels. They baited the doctor, but I guess the Flux didn't completely wipe everything out. There's still somehow a planet can exist with 3/4 of a moon and half a sun or something. Not really sure how that works. But things are out of whack. Time isn't working the way it does. Vinder does come by and he sees the guy that Belle saved. And Vinder says, "Have you seen this woman?" He says, "Yes. She saved my life. Tell her thank you." Then he sees a recording, and Belle is it's just like, "Hey, I didn't wait around because some people needed saving, and you know me, I'm fucking awesome. So I had to go save them. And I love you, boo." And then she, didn't have enough time to give the coordinates, of course. And Vinder's like, "I'll find you." And there's just nothing to these characters at all. At all. So, yeah, as far as those two being the timeless child's parents, possibility. I think it's more of a possibility now than it was, but that's just pure speculation. They give no hints to that other than she was pregnant last episode. So let's get to you guys. Again, it's like this season is the best of bad. It's the best of bad. There's little moments that go, man, that feels like Doctor Who. Oh, it's gone. It's gone because our main character just showed up. And Dan just like walks around being like, "What's going on? I don't know. What should we do now, Yaz?" The talents of Wang Chang. "Hey, Gary, hope you are doing well. Do you think that Belle and Vinder are going to be the Doctor's parents?" I'm starting, the timeless child's parents. If they show the Doctor's parents, if like, really, oh my God, Belle is pregnant, right? And the Flux is time-based. Yes, it is. The way Azure and Swarm put it was, time is at war with space. Matt Deckard for $1.99 says, "I'm waiting for Bulk and Skull to show up." I'm just waiting for it to end, Matt. Thank you for the $1.99. Jake D for $5 simply says, hashtag RIP Doctor Who. Jake D, one of the few thousand Doctor Who fans. We're still hanging out here. We still like the old show. It's a damn shame. I've been watching, aside from some rare exceptions, if you are a Doctor Who collector, now's the time to collect, because the value of stuff has gone way down. Way down. Brosif Josenbaum says, "Hail Nerdrotic, who's your choice for the next doc?" Oh boy. Um, I did a video long time ago now. He's too big of an actor now, and I can never pronounce his name. The guy who was in 12 Years a Slave, but he was the operative in Serenity. I think he was in Love Actually too. I think he would be a great doctor. Oh my God, what's his name? Actor, boop, 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 boop. Especially like with his Chiwetel Ejiofor, because I just really, especially how he played the operative in Serenity, it was quite good. But I really do think they need a household name at this point, just for maybe even I'm trying to pull up some pictures here for a year. You know, if you can get a doctor for a year. I know, like Noel and the guys on Michael Sheen. Who would it be bad? I think we need a young to middle age uh, strapping male. It doesn't need to be a model. I don't think the doctor should. I think the doctor should always be a character actor. I'm trying to think of good character actors. I think some people want Richard Ayoade, which I guess wouldn't be terrible. I don't know much about him, but it'd be better than what we have. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna. Man, everything depends on it, and it's what is the BBC going to do? This is probably, I mean, if the show is going to survive, this is the biggest decision they're ever going to. What Russell T Davies decides with this doctor decides the future of the show. Period. End of story. You come out and you bring in some. We'll just say they bring in some non-binary pronoun. It's over. It's over, and they know it. I don't know. I was surprised when they rehired Russell T Davies. I was surprised he went back. As far as I know, everything I have heard from him, everything you guys have heard from him, he wasn't coming back. He was done with the show. Stephen Moffat asked him to come back to write episodes, wouldn't do it. Just flat out wouldn't do it. Oh, why did that pop up? There we go. Oh, who else would I pick for the doctor? I'm looking at a list here. Aiden Turner, I thought would be good, but he's white. It won't be white. The doctor will not be white, which is fine. It's got to be a dude, though. I think if they pick another woman, it's over too. Doesn't really matter at this point, which is a possibility. And I suspect we'll find out soon. The next couple 3 months, maybe. I don't know when RTD starts. They probably are starting right now. They have to be starting right now. If you're going to be doing a 60th anniversary special and you got to get a bunch of people back, I'm sure that is already in motion. And it'll be interesting to see because their launching point will be the 60th. So you're going to get a bunch of old doctors back. Will Peter Capaldi come back? He might, out of obligation to the fans. Hey, babe. Lethal Lightning gave me $5 Australian. I'm sure you're looking at Jody right now. You're looking at the picture of Jody. I don't find her attractive. All right. I don't find Karen's attractive. Maybe with a different haircut, but good Lord. Dr. Karen. Rockin' Alice for $10 says, "Hi, Gary. I thought the Rassilon and Omega were and their various selves through the multiverse were the ones who made time and locked away magic with the Time Lord tech that they made." Well, apparently that's not the case. See, it's been a little confusing. So Rassilon and Omega, well, Omega doesn't, the Omega is gone. Rassilon, like, are there alternate versions of Rassilon in alternate universes? Well, I don't know if they've, because I haven't read every book. And everything as far as Doctor Who is concerned, I guess with the fans counts until it doesn't. And there's certain changes that we accept, except William Hartnell not being the first Doctor. But now the Guardians of Time is the Temple of Adipose on the planet Time. And the creator of the Time Lords was Tecteun. And I guess Rassilon came in later. And Omega, and they didn't mention either of them in the Timeless Children. There are alternate doctors. So, yeah, I don't know how exactly that works, and I don't want to know how exactly that works. I don't mind the idea of alternate doctors out there in alternate universes. But I do believe they said the flux just destroys all time and space. So it's but then no, I think was it the lady with the straw hat? Didn't she say like universes begin and they end, and this one's had its time? So it might specifically be this one. I don't care enough to watch it twice. I just don't. We'll figure it out in the last 5 minutes. Rock and Alice, this whole series was made to just have people ask questions. And listen, Mystery Box is clever if you deliver, because it's made for television. You get people theorizing, they go on Reddit, they do this stuff. That's the kind of shit you want people doing, but it has to be interesting. And to change Doctor Who the way you did, and then spend the following season not really addressing it until the end, it just shows that they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They don't know how to get the fuck out of this mess. And I wouldn't expect anything mind shattering and clever. I am guessing that the fans will guess the ending, or some probably already have. John Doe for $10. Gary, please do a go back show on Isis, the hot superhero chick from the 70s TV show from Shazam. I'm shocked that Hollywood hasn't rebooted her yet. Please resurrect her on FNT. They did in one of the CW shows, right? I thought they did. I thought she came back in one of the Legends of Tomorrow. I stopped watching. I thought they did bring her back. I remember Isis. I remember Shazam when I was a kid. I watched those. I loved it. The cardboard cutouts of the wizard is so bad. But that's what that was entertainment back then. Adam Croucher for a pound 79 says, "Hope you're doing well, Gary. Hail to the fellowship. Hail to you. Hail to you. I'm doing fine. I'm glad this wasn't I didn't need to take notes. It was weeping angels chase them through house. They lock door. They stare at weeping angel. They say, don't blink. They move inside house. They lock all doors. They go to the center of the house. Say, don't blink. Jericho says, I'm not afraid of angels. I've been to World War II. Tell me what to do, doctor. Doctor psychic links to Claire, and doctor talk in her mind. And we learn what we think is something, but it's absolutely nothing. It's just there's a weeping angel on the run who is obviously lying to the doctor because the weeping angel just took over a person to bait the doctor to get to the end of the episode so the angels can, oh, by the way, recall the doctor to the division. Sorry, I left that part out. That's what it was just to bring the doctor back to work for the division. For what? The universe is destroyed. Is it to go work in other universes? I don't know. I don't know. The Earth is alive because the dog men have shielded the planet, and it's pretty much the only thing left. So the division obviously is operating out of space and time. Azure and Swarm have a beef against the Doctor. We are 4 episodes in, and we have no clue as to why, and I don't care. And it ended on a cliffhanger. So next episode, we see the dog guy say the shield of Earth is breaking down. And that's about it. And thankfully, there's only 2 more episodes to go. Let's get to the chat here before I take off. I got a lot of work to do today. They will not division us. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf. How is the planet Earth managing without a sun? Maybe the dog people shielded the sun too? How is the planet Earth managing without internet? That's the more important question. Ricky Gervais as the doctor. Beef. Now I'm hungry. I haven't had any breakfast yet. Well, it's lunchtime now. It's 12:30. Yeah, what is it with you guys that like your shows start like, not that I can say much, but I'm not a broadcasting company. Why do your shows start at different times all the time on Sunday? Why does it like fucking one time it's 11:15 and the other time it's 10:45? Why? I don't get it. At least being Angel will suit her wooden acting, says Garen Fountain for £2. Good point. Gary Fountain for 2 British pounds. What's up, bastard? How's it going? Thank you. Joyless division. That's what it is, Drew Underwood. It is joyless division. I completely agree with you. As joyless as this show. The good news is we only have 2 weeks left. So yeah, I'm not going to do a breakdown review of every episode because it would just be boring to do. So I'm going to wait until the season is over and I'll do a season review of Doctor Who. It's probably going to be the same for Star Trek Discovery. I'll do the live reviews, but I'm not going to do a breakdown video. I might do one for the first episode, but it was just freaking bad. It's like when it gets this far in, it's like at this point, just kill it. And I don't want to be one of the things that's helping keep it alive, But as I said, I didn't I don't want to see Weeping Angels or Sontarans. And I'm sure, I have a feeling the classic Sontaran look is going to, well, if they were smart, they would explain this. They would use the Flux to explain like the difference in look. Maybe they're from different times, different eras. Kind of like when Star Trek Discovery changed the look of the Klingons. Well, they had a great opportunity to just say, hey, they're from a different part of the empire. It's a big empire. They look different. There's different Klingons look different. And we've been seeing like a war. I mean, there's a million ways you could explain it, but they're all, nope, just the Klingons look like this now. Oh, okay. Well, that looks like shit. The Doctor needs to be a white British dude. John Hannah would be awesome in that role, says John Doe for $5. I'm not stuck on the whole like it needs to be a British dude for sure, like somebody born in the UK. It needs to be run by British people born in the UK. I think there will be exceptions. There could be exceptions, and that's up to you, Brits. But I think it would be, do something like you did with the War Doctor. Bring in somebody for a year that's a big name that will bring people back. Say if I got everything I wanted, the Timeless Children would be erased, and the first female Doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, would be the Valeyard or something, or the Ronnie, whatever. And then we would reboot everything with a proper anniversary. And you bring in somebody for 1 year who will just kill it for a year. Or Paul McGann. You give him what he deserved. The Doctor just chooses one of their older forms. Maybe they can only use it for a certain amount of time. And you let Paul McGann run around for a season. That'd be fun. Be good fun. Wooden acting is less painful than wooden sex, right? James J. Fowler, I would imagine. I mean, it's got less splinters involved. It's got a lot less splinters involved. All right, we're going to wrap this up. This will be over on Nerdrotic Live in a couple of hours. I did a live stream last night. That'll be up later tonight. I read some questions from last week's Doctor Who that I didn't get to for a square up, and I read some questions from last Friday Night Tights, which was an epic episode. That it's got a lot of great feedback from that. So go check it out with the Razor Fist. And I'll be back Monday, tomorrow, for a nooner. Well, we'll talk about this and all the events of the week and white pill moments. And take a look at what we're going to be watching this holiday season. Because if Hollywood and entertainment weren't in such a bad state, you'd be excited. You'd be really excited. You'd be like, wow, we're getting all this great stuff coming up. We got Hawkeye coming up, except he's with Kate Bishop, and show's going to be about her. Witcher season 2, Cobra Kai season 4, Spider-Man No Way Home. What I can recommend though is Ghostbusters. I don't know when you guys get it in the UK, but definitely go see it. You'll have fun. Go check out my reviews. It's spoiler free, but essentially, I say temper your expectations. Don't expect a Ghostbusters film. It's a film with Ghostbusters things in it. It's still a Ghostbusters film, but it's not in the vein of 1 or 2 or even 2. Some people are saying it's better than 2. I don't know if I'd go that far. I'd laugh. I would laugh. If you just wanted to burn it down, John Doe, for $2, then yes. Oh, it's Ollie Alexander. That's the one everybody was talking about. Yeah, if you no. I mean, I'm not sure if the guy can act. What's up, Austin Woods? What's up? All right, so please remember to check out my alternate channels, Nerdrotic Daily, which is a year old now, which is approaching 50,000 subs. We passed 50,000 subs on Nerdrotic Live, which is cool beans because it's such a low effort channel. We're approaching 375,000 here on the main channel. I will be making a video of some kind in the next couple of days. And as I said last night, as we approach the holiday, I mean, essentially the holidays have started. They have begun. I'm not waiting till Thanksgiving. I'm going to put my Santa hat on now. We've got our tree out. We're going to be decorating. And I know a lot of people don't get a chance to celebrate for multiple reasons. You got to work. You're not near family. The coof has, restricted your life. We did get, fucked out of Christmas last year. And it looks like, we'll at least get a partial one. There's still those, passports out there that are complicating some people's lives. But for the most part, it looks like you'll be able to go shopping and enjoy your Christmas. And I think you should celebrate twice as hard. But if you can't, and you got to be at home or you're alone, that's why we're here. We're here for you. Okay. So I'll be live streaming a lot over the week. Because I'm going to be alone too. So yeah, I'm not going to be around my family for Thanksgiving for the first time. Since before I got married. So they're going to Wisconsin. I got to stay back here and run the channel. So I'll just be live streaming a lot. And you guys can keep me company and I'll keep you company. All right. Deal. There'll be a Thanksgiving live stream of some kind. I think that's probably going to be like a Hawkeye review and live stream. There will be a Friday Night Tights on Christmas Eve. And you're going to like the guests, and we are going to have a Friday Night Tights on New Year's Eve. So yeah, there's a lot to also, if you're in the San Diego, a lot of you Brits aren't, sorry. But if you're in the San Diego area, there's a Comic-Con this week. So I'll be going down there during the day for a little while, for a couple hours. And then I'm going to do a San Diego meetup on December 17th. We're going to go see Spider-Man, No Way Home, and then we're going to do a meetup afterwards for a little while. And I hope you can join me down there because that's pretty much my farewell to San Diego, because I'll be gone within a month after that and moving to Texas. So my farewell to it'll be my Cal exit, Spider-Man, whatever you want to call it, party. That's what it's going to be. More details on that very, very soon. But in the meantime, everyone have a great day. Thanks to the Modrotics for being here. Thanks everyone for spending your time with me. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat or a donation. I will double check to make sure I didn't. I should have probably done that first, but let me double check first. Okay, we good. We good. Thanks. And I will see you next Sunday for the penultimate episode. And then it'll be over in 2 weeks. Thank God. It's bad enough that Doctor Who was airing at the same time Star Trek Discovery is. I don't know how much my brain can handle it, but I just don't think anybody cares. The ratings have gone down every episode, and I think there might be a bump because the Weeping Angels, but I don't think a significant one. I think people are just done. So thanks again. Have a great day. Look for this. If you missed any of this, you can hang on to the link or look for it on Nerdrotic Live. Catch you later. Ciao.